Kyiv, Ukraine. When Timofey Postowik and his friends launched an online fundraiser for Ukraine, donations poured in from around the world and helped buy necessary equipment for the Ukrainian armed forces. Donations slowed as conflict with Russia continued and war fatigue set in. But money continued to arrive steadily. Then, on October 7, the Israel-Hamas war broke out. With the outbreak of another major conflict, social media networks, including X, formerly known as Twitter, were flooded with news from the Middle East. Our fundraising posts and updates are getting lost in these tweets, Postowik said. The result was a broad shift in world attention from Ukraine to the war in Gaza. This is a trend that worries many Ukrainians. They fear that combination of global fatigue, competing political agendas and limited resources will lead to less aid for their military and harm the country's ability to continue conflict with Russia. The longer we talk about our war, the less people are interested in it, said Ivan Mahoriuk, 21, who lives in Lviv, western Ukraine. Like many other Ukrainians, he thinks the world stopped paying attention to the war in Ukraine even before Hamas attacked Israel. He said fatigue was due to fact that dynamics on ground were significantly less than in 2022, when Ukrainian armed forces managed to completely or partially remove Russians from several regions. In some places the front line is motionless. But this does not mean that nothing will happen, he said. His brother, 2 cousins, several colleagues and friends serve in the Ukrainian army and continue to fight Russian troops. An officer with Ukraine's 59th Motorized Brigade controls a drone from a shelter in Ukraine's suburbs. Donetsk, site of heavy S with Russian forces. Ukraine. Friday, May 26, 2023. The much-publicized counteroffensive, which began in June this year, progressed much more slowly as Ukrainian troops struggled to dislodge Russians entrenched in captured territory. Political fights in Washington, where the new war is drawing the highest level of attention, are jeopardizing additional U.S. funding for Ukraine. Divisions over Ukraine also emerged in the European Union, which said it could not provide all the ammunition it promised. EU summits and other high-level global meetings now tend to focus on the humanitarian disaster in Gaza. United States President Joe Biden linked U.S. support to Israel and Ukraine, saying both are vital to national security. Biden's transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg, made an official visit to Ukraine on November 8 to show that the U.S.'s resolve remains unshaken. Me being here is a way to show that we have much interest, focus and determination we've ever had. Well, the great interest we have in what's happening in the Middle East from here to Ukraine, he said outside St. Michael's Church in Kiev while standing. President Volodymyr Zelensky acknowledged fatigue in early November. Of course, a lot of people in